G'day everyone, it is Jai, that Aussie metal guy, and Jim Taylor here with Crank.com. So today, tonight, wherever you are in the world, we're absolutely stoked to be joined by two members of rising pop rock force, Allbrook Station. We have Burke Lewis and Mr. DJ Frank Zoo. The band's been turning heads with their emotionally powerfully charged songs, and most recently their brand new single Sharpshooter. It did all kick off with Chimerical, followed on by Bad Dream. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having. What an intro, man! I'm already pumped, dude.
Yeah. One thing I always try and do fucking is a good fucking intro, my friends. Can you tell me a little bit about where this all began for Allbrook Station?
Yeah, actually, so a couple years back, I started kind of a solo project, singer-songwriter, and it just, dude, it wasn't enough, man. I wanted more. I was like, this is boring up here by myself playing guitar. And so then I started songwriting with a guy named Jesse, and that's actually Frank Zoo's little brother. And so him and I started songwriting together, and I was like, bro, I want to put together a band, but I keep hiring all these musicians and the turnaround is just terrible. Like I want somebody that sticks with it and sees the goal. He goes, give me 6 months. And I was like, for what? And he goes, I'll play bass for you. Give me 6 months. And damn, 6 months, he was solid. He's just one of those guys. Him and Frank Zoo are just like, music is just what they do, right? So then we picked up our drummer, Nate, here in Utah. And then we met our producer, Randy Slaw. And after working with him for about 8 months, we were like, yo, join the band. And he was like, I'd love to. And so he joined when the producer joins your band, you got something, right? Because I mean,
pretty cool.
Everybody. And then we knew, so there was a song, we'll have to send it to you guys. It's probably gonna be the big single to announce the album, but it's a song called Venom. And
Okay.
we sent this off to some industry people, and besides loving it, their first comment back was, oh, we can't wait to see how they do this live. And literally hit in my stomach thinking, we need an auxiliary member to help this. We need backing vocals. We need running samples, DJ, all that. And then it just, I think, Frank, you were in the studio with us doing vocals, and we were just like, bro, join the band. Just be part of the band. And then, boom, it was it. So, right?
I will say, I'm a hip hop guy. So at the time when he joined this band, I was like, I just put out a rap project. Like, I don't know nothing about rock music. It wasn't until we were like, what, in the pit at like a Fall Out Boy concert that it was like, yeah.
Fall Out Boy, yeah.
It was like, I was like, yeah,
something makes sense here.
Yeah, yeah. So it's been fantastic though, because I mean, you'll hear the sound. There's so many good influences, and I'm like, rock music needs hip hop in a way that's authentic and cool, you know? And I was just like, we got it.
Well, and listening to Sharpshooter and down the road here, we'll talk about the videos because they are in of themselves a work of art. But before we get there, you have so many influences going on. Like, let's just start with Sharpshooter because that you guys just released that 2 weeks ago, right?
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? I'm going to shut up. Talk about how you wrote it.
Well, I mean, Sharpshooter was one of those songs that the version you're hearing is not the version Jesse and I wrote. Like the lyrics and melody, yes, but it actually started, you remember this, Frank? It started as a My Chemical Romance complete ripoff of, what's the song? When I was a young boy.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, like,
yeah,
part for part, we had an intro that was like piano, cool, and then Black Parade came in just like the drums and all that. And then our producer, he was like, love the song. We already have the Black Parade, and they did it pretty well. Dang it. And so he was like, give me a night. Let me try to arrange this differently. And so we got back a different version. And I think we were all on board, right? I don't think any of us had a problem with it. We're like, this is your job. That's why we pay you as a producer, is because when you see there is something there, but maybe it's not packaged correctly, that's what we ended up doing. So we ended up re-recording everything. And then the only thing I want to say, and then I'll turn it over to Frank Zoo. The only thing I wanted to say was on the drums, that beat was not the original beat. We actually had a demo drummer, and it was the exact beat that you would Imagine. Dun, 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 dun. That was it. And the whole time I'm just like, bro, we got to do something different there. There's gotta be more. And you remember we're at the drummer's house, and all four of us, bless his heart, we're coaching. Try this, try that. And he's okay. Let me try this blast beat, something, you know. And I kept saying, I was like, Nate, just trust me. It just needs to have something that is unique and something that's a little bit different, not the low hanging fruit. Try something. And he came out with that, took it to the studio, nailed it first take.
It's almost a combination of like, I don't want to pigeonhole it into anything,
Say it.
but like I'm a big fan of like 90s like Ace of Base kind of stuff.
Okay.
But you combine that with like trip hop, and then you had this way of melding it into like very heavy material. So it like, and it fit your voice very well. And then like
James is Junior, but Frank Zoo, yeah.
but like there was something interesting about, like, you could easily go from like an almost Ace of Base beat to like Fear Factory in a second, and that's what I felt with you guys.
It's funny, man. It's again, I wish you guys could have been in that space with us. We're talking like, when I kid you not, it's like we're in the drummer's basement, so we're in Nate's basement, and it's, imagine you're there. If you were a drummer, you're on a drum set, and you have four guys looking at you, headphones in, just peering into your soul, and literally we were just like, try something new, try something different.
Right.
And we go down these weird paths, and it's like, I felt bad for him at the time, because it's almost like you're like an Olympic swimmer, a diver, right? And you're jumping, and all these judges looking at you like, yeah, you did all those flips, they were cool, but we've seen that. Why don't you go up there and do it again? It's like, not thinking about how much taxing it was on him.
Right.
Like, let's push you creatively. And that's, I will say, that's like the thing that surprises me the most with these guys. Like, even just being around with the band, it's like, and when it's like time to push, dig in your heels and push creatively, it's like, hey, we need you to try something new right here, right now. Let's just explore different things. And it's been cool that we can crank some of these ideas out where it's like you said, it's like, it can be something Ace of Basics where it's like, it feels like this really good swing, right? But then you just add this layer of complexity randomly in the song, and you're just like, oh, these guys aren't just like doing what you assume a band would do in these moments. It's like, no, let's spice it up a bit. And so Sharpshooter's funny because it's very divisive, and we've seen this. We've had people that are like, man, I love this song, that are going through it in their lives right now, that are like, man, I fucking hate my ex. I can't stand them with all my heart. Right? And they're the ones that are like, man, the moment I hear that song, I could feel the pain in Burke's voice. But then you have other people that are like, hell, I've been married for like 15 years, man. The fuck, I'm not in this space anymore. Thank God I'm not in this space anymore. I can't stand this song. So so it's funny that we've felt this like shift between the two, but it just tells us like, okay, you know, we have Chimerical that started out, and it's very like, very different, and is in the way that we play with genres on that. And then you look at the other side of the like scope and the range, and it's like, this one's a little bit more poppy, this one's like way more emotional. Burke is like leaning into the emotions of it, and it's like, okay, we've tested both sides of the extreme, and yet we still have a lot of people that, hey, this is resonating with, you know.
Well, and not only that, the structure of both songs is still there. It's pop punk with hope, and then the other is a little darker.
Yeah.
And that's what's so cool about it. But
I like that. We might have to put that on a shirt. Dropping dimes, pop punk. I like that. I like that.
it does have that real emotional weight behind it. Since we're talking about
Mm.
Sharpshooter, it does feel very cathartic. I've kind of been in that space for a year and a half. I'm finally coming good, but tracks like this definitely hit home. Kind of a two-part question here. What was it like creating that song lyrically? And Junior, what's it like coming into a band like this with kind of a different look on when you're creating songs, bringing in those electronic textures, the beats and samples into a mix as well, something like that.
Well, writing the song lyrically, again, our first version was actually playful. It was more on old school Fall Out Boy. It was that type of vibe where it was kind of keep the news to yourself, kind of like nerdy, goofy, kind of happy, like almost teenagerish, childish in a fun way. But then when we hit the studio and we changed the key, all of a sudden it was a little bit darker. And I remember the moment
Yeah.
studio where if you listen to Sharpshooter, the first two choruses, we don't copy and paste either. I love that about my producer. He's like, nope, it should be elevating every time. So on all of our songs, there's no copy paste. It's like, dude, nail the chorus. If you're gonna sing this live, nail the chorus. And it allows us to create an emotional journey. But when we got to the third chorus, the part where it just sinks and you hear me break, that I was just gonna keep kind of doing that same thing. And we did a version that was like a little bit more than the second chorus. But then we kind of just were like, let's try. I always say this to Randy, the producer. Let me just try one crazy. Let me just see. Let's see if I go too far. And we did that was like hysterical and kind of like chaotic and breaking down. And we were like, okay, this is the right vein, wrong delivery. Let's just tweak it and still keep it professional, but let's hear. And I scream a little bit. I back in the day was in heavy metal bands, so I used to scream a lot. And in Sharpshooter, I think is the only song, if I'm not mistaken, that I get to just a little scream, and that Sharpshooter. And it's not even a crazy one. It's just like anybody that loves that type of stuff would be like, oh, there was something. So for me, it was the headspace, and I've been divorced. I've had relationships go south, and so as a songwriter, that's what you do. You're telling a story, and so you channel all of that stuff, and then you put it on steroids, and you make it so big that it's so big that somebody anywhere, anybody can relate to one spot of it. If it's so specific, then it's like only a handful of people have had that experience. But if I make it so powerful and so just like, yeah, I've been there. I don't care what you're doing. I'm trying to move on. You move on. Stop being in my business. Don't let me be in your business. Let me move on and heal. And then, I got to give Jesse credit for that line. I don't miss you anymore. I'm a sharpshooter, because sharpshooters don't miss.
It's a tough line, dude.
That's great.
It hit me in the heart, dude.
Yeah. Love it.
Shoot, for the second part, I will say, to piggyback off what Burke is saying, like I've had people come up to me and it's like, man, I hope that your lead singer keeps going through it because that song's and I'm like, damn, well, don't wish the worst on the man. Like, let the man breathe. Let him bounce back. Right?
Yeah.
Music is healing, and it's also subjective too. As the listener, it's like two parts to the journey. You have the musicians and the listener. You know what I mean? So depending on what headspace you're in, is how you take in a lot of the music.
Yeah, it's like what Jim said. It's like pop punk with hope, right? It's like the hope part. It's like when you hear the songs collectively, you'll feel that. It's like, hey, I just went through a whole lot of shit, but guess what? I made it out, and it made me a stronger and a better person for it.
Yes, sir.
To go back to that second part of that question, it's funny because, again, as a hip hop person, like up to this point, like in my like music career, all I've done is like, okay, hip hop sampling. I'm Jay Dilling everything. I am trying to produce very much in the vein of like a Kanye and stuff like that. So in my mind, I know how to manipulate sounds and chop them up in different rhythms and things like that. And that's just what I know, right? Like that is my bread and butter. And so like to go into a mix of like these like well-trained, well-versed musicians, and mind you, Burke didn't mention it. Our producer, Grammy nominated.
I know,
right?
producer, like, guitarist, Grammy nominated, Billboard #1 producer, known for scoring TV shows like Grey's Anatomy, ad campaigns like Converse, Super Bowl placements, collaborations. Yeah,
bro, it's like let's not sugarcoat it. Let's not put it like let's not like dust it under the rug. Like, ready to. Yeah, this isn't like a Joe Schmo who's like in his mom's basement cooking beats on a MacBook. You know what I mean? It's like, no, this guy knows what he's doing. And so like it was fantastic to get into the rhythm. And the cool thing about Randy that I love is like even from day one, he was like, "Hey, your sampling skills, we're gonna lean into that. Like, I know what you're capable of, and so we will call to it." And so I was, it was a little nerve-wracking because again, trying to blend hip hop into tracks and sampling specifically, which sampling is like very far and few in the rock world, right?
Right.
Um, but like my first experience was Bad Dream. So like the dun, 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 that is Burke's voice that I pitch shifted it up, very, very akin to
Dude, that was
Kanye,
amazing. For
right?
real?
Kanye sampling, right?
Yeah,
Chopping it up and making it sound like rhythmically sounding different, but also creating a new melody that lends itself well with the chord progression, right? Like that's
yeah. Yep.
that's the level of sampling that's like, okay, it takes the song to a different level, but in a hip hop way, right? So
Right.
it was intimidating again to get in a room with like Burke, who shreds on guitar, Nate, who's like probably the most technically gifted person, Randy, who's like, again, his accolades speak for himself. My younger brother, who like, if you turn him loose on any instrument, he'll learn it in a couple of days. And it's like, show us what you can do. And I'm like, all right, well, let's see what we can do, Luckily it's fun because we've like established the environment to be creative together. And again, very similar to sitting in Nate's basement and looking at him and saying, "Drum, do what you can." It's
Right.
like I know for a fact that all of us individually, if you sat us down and was like, "Do what you can," it's like, "All right, let's try all these cool things out," and we get cool songs.
And
So
they're the thing is everybody in this band has risen to the occasion. Like when we'd sit there and watch Frank, like, all right, dude, we need something for Bad Dream. We got to have something. It was like, all right, I'll do it. And we're sitting there in the studio watching him and he nails it. And then same thing with songwriting. Jesse and I write all the songs, and there will be times where we'll submit something to the rest of the band or Randy, and they'll be like, you could do better. And we don't fight it, it doesn't hurt our feelings now. We just go, okay, because we've done it enough where we know they go, like when we have it, they're like, yeah, that's it. And so we know what that looks like. And we're like, guys, we don't
Right.
compromise. If everybody in the band loves it, then we know we nailed it. If we
Right.
get 5 people to collectively like it, there's
right.
something, there's
It,
something out there. Yeah.
it's so hypnotic. If again, not to categorize, but it's like hypnotic metal, but also it's not metal. It's just rock. It's just music, and like the way you combine hooks, you combine riffs, you combine beats. That is amazing.
Thank you.
And you guys have created something so amazing. Yeah, Giant, I love it.
Well,
So
from the
Jai,
from
sorry. If I could just say one thing real quick, Jai, because you said earlier that you're kind of going through it. I just wanted to say there was a quote that I heard the other day that said, "You will learn so much more about thirst in a desert than you will in an ocean."
damn straight.
Right? And I obviously, don't need to get into it or anything like that, but I want you to know, dude, like having been in the suck and just the terrible times, it gets better, man. And you've already got us rooting for you. I know Jim's rooting for you, but I'm telling you, dude, it gets better. And like I was just miserable, and then I found the right me, which led me to find the right person. And
Oh,
so anyway, I felt like we want to tell you, man, we're praying for you, rooting for you. It gets better.
oh, damn straight. I've been diving into a lot of Japanese philosophy as well of late. Guys, it has been an absolute,
Anime. I call
yeah,
it anime.
Miyamoto Musashi, dude. I want to dump into Chimerical. That was the first single you guys kind of went off with. I love the way you have done this with the 3 different singles as well. They all kind of bring a different aspect to what you guys have got going on. Tell us about that debut single and that choice to go with that one.
mm,
Um, so the crazy thing was our drummer's dad for the last 2 to 3 years had been fighting cancer. And the day Chimerical was released, he got to hear it and then passed away that day.
Uh-huh.
And
oh
for us,
my.
there is such a special spirit around Chimerical where it was like we all, we felt like his dad was hanging on to see his son go out into the world with Allbrook.
Mm,
and Junior or Frank and Jesse, their brother passed away as well while we were
Mm,
out in East West. They got a call. We were out in LA and recording an orchestra, and they got a call. And then my wife, that his brother had a heart attack, and then
Oh,
my wife and I had a miscarriage last year, and so it was just like Chimerical to us was like everything felt like it was trying to stop us and break us.
mhm,
And then we just were like, we're doing this. And the cool thing was me as the front man, the leader of this band, I saw my brothers come together.
mm,
And like it was the first time I felt like, oh, I don't have to do this alone. When I'm hurting, I've got my brothers there. When our drummer was hurting. So I know that's not exactly what you meant with Chimerical, but because it's you guys and we already like freaking love you guys, feel like we're talking to our homies. The Chimerical was so special to us as the start of us telling the world, like, you're not going to break us. We're going to do
mm,
this. Nothing's going to stop us, and we're not going to let us fail. We're not going to let anything happen. We're going to do this because
mm.
this music helped us, and hopefully it will help other people. So, on that front, that was a lot of fun. And then, as far as writing and creating Chimerical started as a different song as well, and it ended up going into this weird. It wasn't even meant to be one of our main singles. Like it really wasn't. It was just like a cool song. It was one of the last. Bad Dream, Chimerical, and a couple other ones were one of the last ones we did. And then we started messing with it and changing some sounds around and messing with guitar tones.
It is. I'm sorry,
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
dude. It is so hypnotic, and then you combine the video with that, and to watch you on a hill. I'm assuming it looks like
Yeah. Talk about
California.
the lyric videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one was actually in Pleasant Grove, Utah. That one.
Oh, that's so cool.
So, and just I've never shared anything about the lyric videos because no one's ever asked me. But every single lyric video, you will see me sitting someplace high.
Yeah.
And you'll see me sitting above and overlooking. So the first video, I'm in Pleasant Grove because when I moved to Utah, that was one of the first places I lived. And so
Okay.
my buddy who owns that house, hey, this is my first single, and I'd kind of like to bring it back to where I started. Can I sit on this roof and film it?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it hit me so much in the heart because it was so cool to see, you know, there was like you were looking at everything in a distance
Yeah.
and all that. And for you to sit there and the lyrics came up, I was like, wow, this is like,
The idea is I want
oh,
you were to feel on top of the world with me, not
Yep.
looking down,
yeah,
but to feel like while I'm watching this video and listening to me, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing any tricks or doing I'm vibing to my
no,
songs, listening to it, singing it, and then you're reading the lyrics and you're like starting to pay attention because psychologically I feel you're feeling elevated. And then the next one, Bad Dream, was in Mexico, was in
yeah,
Point. And then Sharpshooter was in Rocky Point. And the new one, Crown, is probably the scariest and the highest I was. This one was like 5 or 6 stories, and you can't even tell. It was dumb high, and
Oh,
but you see all of Mexico and the coast and the ocean, and like it's
wow,
wild. That one's coming out August 26th. That's
25th.
the next single.
Day before?
It comes, yeah, technically it comes out 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the 25th, but it's like midnight. So you can hear it midnight Eastern Standard Time on the 26th.
I'm excited, and also like when you hear Junior with your beats, like there's this hypnosis, and then when you combine your multi-track vocals and you combine, my God, the cleanest bass and guitar, the crunch, you add that to like the beats you're doing, Junior, and your vocals, it is so soothing. At the same time, you could probably start a pit to it.
Yeah.
It's
and
a
Saying,
it makes a
I,
lot of sense. Go, Junior. Go, brother.
I was gonna say, I as much as I would love to take credit for that, that is why you have a guy like Randy. because Randy is the one that is like, I understand where the song came from,
Mm,
and he starts layering in, man. If there's one thing that Randy does exceptionally well, like that merits all of the like accolades, his
mm.
ability to layer kicks, 808s on top, subs on top of that, really, really low organs, really low synths to help with the progression, pulses,
And it's so
build-up
layered. It's
effects.
so beautiful, dude.
It's crazy, and it's
Yeah.
Randy. Randy is like again, as much as I would love to say, man, I really complimented and got into those beats. No, like the way Randy and the thing about like Randy and his production that like at its core is so fantastic
Mm.
is you'll never find someone who's such a big nerd around all genres of music.
Yep.
Yeah.
All genres. It's like I can have a conversation with him about the deepest of hip hop cuts, and
Right.
he'll incorporate things that he heard 15 years ago on a random B-side of a rap song into a rock song today. And it's like, like I just watch, it's like watching a master at work at that point. So I'm like, I will say like the thing about Chimerical, it's going back to what Burke was saying about like all the craziness that was happening in all of our personal lives is like, man, what a way to kick off like the introduction of Allbrook Station in this in a song that's like
Yeah.
kind of
Mm.
brutal in nature, like really like hard hitting with the 808s. You have rasp in the lead vocals, and then you kind of have like this
Yes.
triumphant ending where it's like you hear this like really like powerful synth like this synth line that's just like, man, that melody is catchy, but it ends so big. So it's like we started in this dark place, this pit, but man, by the end of it, you feel like again you're on top of the
Dude,
world.
dude, it's like cashmere. It just like it's so heavy, and then there's something about it that has hope.
Well,
You know
Right.
what I mean?
exactly, and you can feel the like. I listened to it and I've done my research and checked you guys out, but after chatting to you now, thinking back to these tracks, and you can feel that emotional weight to it. And a cancer battle is absolute fucking hell. I wanted to jump in before. I'm a year and a half in remission now. Went through stage 4 cancer. Had an ostomy for 2 years. 2023. I'm lucky to be here now, so I know what that's like. And having lost someone very close to me of a brain tumor a few years ago, as well, a family member I watched go of that. It's absolute hell, but you want to also like remember them in a positive way, and the way use of using this memory in such a positive way, and the emotional weight to this music, it must have been a very cathartic experience making that. And the name of the album, All We Have Is Pain, kind of really makes a lot of bloody sense now off of that
Mm.
answer and the response before, mate.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man, and I'm glad you said you're in remission now. You're good.
Year
It's
and a
all
half in remission, man.
Sir.
Yeah.
it's just such a crazy. I mean, we could talk hours on this. It's just like, dude, cancer is just ruthless. It's like doesn't at that moment doesn't matter skin color, doesn't matter religion, doesn't matter what you have in your bank, what you do. It's like, dude, it goes after anybody, you know. And I think I think of death every single day, not in a morbid way, but I think of it daily as like this is really nerdy, but like Harry Potter when they're doing the Deathly Hallows where he like respects death.
Oh
It's that,
yeah.
you know, like, hey, you're a second away from me. You're always around me, and I'm just going to make sure I get everything I want to do, and I hang out with those that I want to hang out with and love those that I love before
Yeah.
it's, and that's been my mentality now is I don't have time to spend with people I don't love, you know, and people that I don't, and I love everybody, but I mean the people that aren't like my team and my people, I'm like, dude, life's too short. I got to let my people know, like my daughter, I need my daughter to know how much I love her, my wife, my best friends, my band. And it's helped me live such a healthy, cool, appreciative life because I care about every day, you know? So writing these songs and being in Allbrook Station has been very healing. You know, writing some of the songs, like I've bawled my eyes out listening to them or writing them. And then also having somebody like Jesse to write with has been so cool that I'm like, oh, I'm not alone. You've experienced this too. And, you know, it's been amazing. That's why I think the album and these songs are going to do well because it's authentic. It's real. Like it came from us.
Mm.
One of the best compliments we ever got. One of the industry guys says, "Hey, who do you write with?" And I like, who in the industry is writing with you guys? And I was like, oh, it's just me and Jesse. And he's like, you guys
Hell
write all
yeah.
the songs? Yeah, man. Like we try our best, you know. And I said, trust me, you're only hearing the good ones. You know, I was like, that didn't make the cut, but you guys are hearing the good ones.
And that must be fun with the songwriting process to have all these different creative influences as well as this amazing producer that just can work with for this massive, massive fucking sound you guys have.
Yeah, I did want to say a part on top of all of that, mixing engineer is Zach Cervini.
Yep.
Dude is freaking
Oh wow.
truth. And so
Right.
like we got a couple mixes back from him, and I was like, how? How did like Chimerical is massive when it starts,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then somehow there's more room when the chorus hits. I'm like, how
It
did
is.
you do that? And then the engineers, shout out Kevin McCombs, Danny Escobar, and Caleb. Like they, dude, engineer for, and that's the thing is it's like I got to see from start to finish top tier talent
Yeah.
from
No doubt.
and then Ted Jensen mastering. And one of
Oh
our
my God. Oh, that's amazing.
after is actually being mixed right now by Neil Avron, who did Fallout Boy, did
Yep.
Linkin Park. Like Neil is the truth. So
Yeah, yeah.
what a freaking cool life that we get to hear our music through all these different professional hands.
Mm.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, man. And the Chimerical, the remixes, dude. Who was behind that one, man?
So you want to take this one, or you want me to take it, Brink?
I had to ask, man.
So it's funny because we work with Jared. What man? I'm trying to remember Jared's last name.
Jared Gosselin.
Gosling. That's right, man. I don't know why I slipped my mind.
Shout out
But
to
you
my
know,
boy.
again, it's in the presence of someone who's also Grammy nominated and has or Grammy won,
What a
and
great-
he has his own accolades, and
and as a DJ, he's fire. Like
yeah, as a DJ, and you've heard it, right? Like as soon as we released Chimerical, it was like, oh, Jared's gonna take it. He has his like group of like just DJs who were just chomping at the bits of like, let's take the song and flip them. And it was like a no-brainer. It was like, well, Jared, this is your livelihood. Like you do this. And he came back with his mix of it, and some of his DJ buddies had mixes of it, and it was like, well, damn, these are fire. Like you kind of have to put these out. Like let's just put these out because the world just needs to hear it through your lens.
and they're, I mean, to be frank and vulnerable, because it's you guys, man. Like you guys are the easiest people to talk to, dude.
Bro.
There at first there was like some, because you're a rock band, it was kind of that like, oh, should we do a remix? Like we only have one
Yeah.
song out. Like who does a remix after
Right.
And it was kind of like this weird, should we do it? And that's not really our sound. And the one thing he was like, bro, you wrote the song. You should be spinning it every single way you can.
Fucking oath, Fear Factory done it as well. I'm telling Metalhead, mate. Fear
Digital
Factory
Mortal, man.
remanufacture album, dude. I'm going back
Yeah.
further. That reman, Soul of a New Machine had all those samples, and fuck, man, it was crazy.
Introduced us to a whole different audience that
Yep.
would have never heard us.
Yeah.
And of course, not everybody is in it for rock, but they hear some elements, and we've gotten some good fans from that. And so for
That's
us,
cool.
bro, this is our song. If somebody wants to do a country version, do it. Cha-ching.
Yeah. Yeah.
It, because again, it's like introducing us, and it's good relationships with the rest of the labels. It's like Chimerical's being spun in different radio stations, in different settings, different festivals, and it was like, I'm such a huge fan of collaboration. Like it's such a cool, I think at first we were a little insecure because it was like, this is our baby. It's a
Yeah.
and kind of mentality, and then you realize like, oh dude, this is bigger than us. Like
Yeah.
go do a remix, and if that remix pops off and gets us famous, cool, do that one. So it was a really cool honor to see that and be a part of it and learn from that. So expect more and different as well, because I that experience opened me to some really cool ideas that I don't want to give away yet.
Yeah.
That were like, yo, if we can do that, we can do this. So
Exactly, and that's exciting there with Frank and the whole group that you guys have got together. I really can't wait to hear All We Have Is in Pain, guys. You did mention Crown is the next single to be dropping from you guys. I do have a couple of quick fire questions to get through before I jump into a bloody outro. First concert you guys went to?
Oh, easy peasy.
Oh man, you go.
I
I'm trying to remember.
can't even remember. Yeah, I can't remember much of my earlier ones, but I know I was there.
Because I was spoiled. I thought all concerts were this way. So it's Story of the Year,
Oh,
POD, Linkin Park. That was my first ever concert. Dude,
huh.
literally Story of the Year comes out, acrobatics, flipping, backflips, perfect harmonies, everything solid. Hoobastank comes out in your face, just like kills everything. Then POD comes out, the entire thing pops off. Everybody knows the song, screaming. Then Linkin Park comes out, and I kid you not, literally it felt like the heavens, the atmosphere, something grabbed everybody in that room, took us to a different place, had the concert, and then put us back. Bro, it literally, like, I'm watching Chester Bennington, rest in peace, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. Dude, that dude was floating on the stage. And just, I'm looking around like, oh my gosh, dude, we are in the presence of greatness. That was my first concert.
Nice.
All right, I do remember mine. So I will say, growing up, I grew up in the project, so we didn't have a lot of money, right? So I didn't get to go to concerts. It wasn't until like I was in college that I actually was like, oh, I can go to concerts. Growing up, I've always been a Nas fan, like as a hip hop person. Nas was like,
Oh, it was
so,
written, dude.
right, right. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I heard that in Salt Lake, it was like they put on these $5 concerts, and I was like, wait, who's gonna be the person performing? And I found out like I think it was like the day of. It was like me, my best friend, and my little brother Jesse. And it was we found out the day of $5. You can go see Nas at this big park, and we get there like probably right before he's gonna go on, right? And we're at the very back, big ass park. We're in the very
Yeah.
back, and we're like, damn, dog, this is Nas. We have to get to the front somehow.
Yeah, dude.
I don't condone this type of behavior, but look, man, as a diehard Nas fan, you got to do what you got to do. So we're sitting there in the back, and we see this guy. There's a guy in a wheelchair. All right, again, don't judge me. He's in a wheelchair.
I was like, where's this going?
Yeah, man. I feel
Continue.
this is probably like one of those stories where I know God is going to be like, yeah, you're an asshole for this, right? Anyways, so he's in a wheelchair, and he's also has this look on his face like, damn, I want to be in the front. So we're like, all right, man, he wants to be in the front. Let's get my man to the front.
Yeah.
And so we go, and I will say kudos to the people of Salt Lake City because they have like the biggest hearts because they saw a man in a wheelchair and they parted like the Red Sea because we were like, we want to get him to the front.
Damn straight.
Mind you, we don't know this guy. I don't know him.
Right.
We don't know him.
That makes it even better, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
So we get to the very front, and Nas is about to come out. Everybody starts pushing. You know how it is. They start
Oh,
pushing. You feel it against your back. And the security guards, they turn around and they're like, hey, man, this guy in the wheelchair, he can't be up here in the front because he's going to get squished. And we have no way of helping him or pulling him out. And so they were like, he has to go to the back. And we looked at that security guard, me, my little brother, and my best friend, and we were like, it was like almost unanimous. It was like, man, I don't even know who he is. And then we stayed up there right at the front, helped carry him over to the barricade where they wheeled him back to the very back. And again, I feel like an ass for doing it, but that was like my very first concert. And the whole time, I still to this day have the video in my phone of Nas rapping "It Ain't Hard to Tell," and me, my brother, and my best friend were rapping it word for word, and he was looking at us, pointing at us, because we were the only ones that knew it word for word. And I don't regret it. Don't regret a damn thing.
That man couldn't have got that story out of me. I'm like, oh, take that to the grave, man.
No, it's a good news story. You got him up close and personal, even got over the barrier, and he was closer than anyone else. You know what I mean?
I will say, you know how they give that space to the press?
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
Yes.
yeah,
They let him chill up
exactly.
there. I will say they let him chill up there for like the better part of like 15, 20 minutes. And then they wheeled him off to the side. And he saw the whole
Exactly.
show from the
So,
side.
mate, turn that around. Flip the script, brother.
Right.
You done a
So,
fucking good deed, man.
so
Fuck yeah, man. And side note, man, Nas, Hip Hop is Dead, man. That track fucking banged, man. I
oh,
never much went out to clubs and shit, but when I
Absolutely.
did, that was my one go-to request,
right.
man, because that song was fire, man. I had a few hip hop fucking artists that I really dug, Exhibit, Nas, and of that ilk, man. And of course, Public Enemy and Wu-Tang. But fuck yeah, dude. Killer first concert. First album you guys brought with your own money.
Oh, own money.
I remember this one too.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
It, it again, it just goes to show I was a Nas fan. I bought his I Am album, which is
Oh,
terrible album. But I bought it with my hard-earned money as a child, and I remember thinking to myself, "Man, this CD only has like 4 good songs, so I'm just gonna go ahead and steal another one. I'm gonna steal a different one while I'm
nice.
damn goody and get out of here." And so I ended up like I purchased I Am with my money. I walked out with It Was Written as well. So
Oh,
was fantastic.
great
So
record.
Think of
I
Frank
will say that was me. Man,
story.
you guys are, yeah, I'm probably not making a good case for myself right now by any means, but I got to be honest with you
Mate, we
guys.
had it bloody hard as we were growing up. I get, mate. I know what it's like. I didn't get to my first concert till I was 18. I could fucking buy the ticket myself, dude. So,
Right.
Yeah.
I think so. I know the first album I was ever gifted for my birthday was Hybrid Theory from Linkin Park. But the first one I ever bought, it's one of these two. It's either Breaking Benjamin's first album, I believe is it Phobia, the one with So Cold on it? No, that's not Phobia, is it?
I'll
No.
think of it in a minute. I should know this.
It's the one with So Cold.
Yeah, yeah.
It's bald. He's got the hands on the
Yeah,
head.
like
Yeah,
this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you.
Phobia
Yeah.
with Diary of Jane, where it's got the Mothman type thing. So it's either
Oh
that
yeah.
one was either the first one or 3 Days Grace, their
Mm.
first one with Home and Just Like You and I Hate Everything About You. The one of those two albums because I Linkin Park I discovered, and then on my own I discovered with my brothers, and then Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace, and Seether. I found those guys.
Ah,
I was like,
very cool.
oh, I'm gonna steal how you guys sing, and I'm gonna sing like you guys. So first album was one of them.
No, you have your own. No, sir, you have
Wow.
your own way. No, no, definitely not. But that's funny.
Caesar are
Wow.
bloody unreal. My first couple albums were Sepultura Roots and Fear Factory, dude. Fuck, man, unreal. Dream collaboration, guys. Artists alive or gone.
I've said mine, and it's more for the marketing, not selfishly, but I would love to have either a female artist with a male rapper, so either
Yep.
Eminem or Kendrick Lamar with either a Shania Twain or Miley Cyrus or Adele.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Just imagine Allbrook Station featuring Eminem and Adele, or Eminem.
That would be. Oh my God, that would be so
Whether
awesome.
you're a fan
Yeah.
or not, if you hate us, you're gonna be like, well, let me hear what this is. Like, and so for me, like my mind
I
instantly.
love it.
Mine is a little different. It's funny because I've thought about this, and I think if it's just Allbrook Station, Dave Grohl, hands down. Like Dave Grohl would be.
Ah,
I think that would be like one the most fun you could even have with another like artist. I
oh
think
yeah.
it'd be hilarious. But I like even though I'm a hip hop guy, it's like man,
Mm.
his accolades and what he's accomplished speak for themselves again. But man, I don't know. I feel like you put him and Albrook Station together on a collab, that would be just badass. I
Dude,
always
dude,
think like, man, that would be so badass.
I concur. I concur.
Selfishly, if we're picking like rock vocal, like easily, it'd be Dave Grohl, Corey Taylor, it'd be Jacoby Shaddix, Ollie Sykes. Like those would be my heavy hitters of like the guys.
Body writing.
I like those guys. I'd be like, woo, anyone. Yeah, those guys would be awesome.
Awesome. Oh yeah, before we do get to the outro, guys, I want to mention you do have a show Tuesday, August 26th. Is it? Soundwell in Salt Lake City. There, we got to give that one a shout out to as well, guys. Best place people can get along. Check that out. Probably your Facebook page, grab tickets and stuff like that. Or
or allbrookstation.com or Instagram. And this is our debut show. And I know
Nice.
it up. So all I want to say to the listeners and the viewers, if you have a chance to get tickets because think right now of your favorite artist of all time. Just think of them. Think of whoever it is. And if you could hop into a time machine and go back and be one of the first one of 400 to see them perform their debut show, would you not freaking tackle that freaking time machine? You know, if I could see Linkin Park's debut performance or Foo Fighters' first one, Nirvana, what, you know, there was a video that was circling and it was Nirvana, and Kurt Cobain goes, "This is a new song called Smells Like Teen Spirit." And like no one goes crazy. No one had heard it. No one heard the song. They play it and I'm like, dude, it was like one of their first public appearance, you know? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my sales pitch. I know where we're going. I know how hard we're working. I know how bad we want it and our discipline. So I'm like, come see the beginning. You know, this is taking us 2 years to get to where we're at.
You guys are freaking amazing. No BS.
We
Yeah,
don't sleep on
guys-
shows like that
seriously.
as well. Like I've seen Sleep Token at a
Indeed.
small, like kind of smallish club pub show here, and
Yeah.
now they're not going to play anything smaller than fucking stadiums now, guys. So don't miss your chance. Catch Allbrook Station live.
Exactly.
Guys, this has been an awesome chat. Big thanks to Burke and Frank, mate, from Allbrook Station for joining us. Make sure you go check out their singles, Sharpshooter, Bad Dream, and Chimerical. The album dropping in 2026 is All We Have Is Pain. The next single will be Crown. Everyone needs to go jump on, follow them, as we said, YouTube, Insta, TikTok, Facebooks. I'll drop links in the description as well, guys. Last word, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you want to put in there, all on you.
Frank, take us home.
Keep tabs on us because I promise you the journey is going to be worth it. If you're going through it, again, was it a pop punk band with hope? That is such a fantastic tagline. I promise you, you're going to see that on a shirt because that's such a great tagline. But do not miss out on this opportunity to take this journey with us because honestly, like, if there's one thing that you're gonna always feel like with us is that you're part of the journey with us, but you're one of the homies. Like Jim, Jai, like you guys are fantastic. You guys are the homies. You ever find yourself on this side of the world, I promise you, you're gonna feel like you're one of the homies. And so just follow along with us. We promise the journey's worth it.
Much love, guys. Everybody jump on the journey as well with Allbrook Station. Chuck it in the stereos. Crank it really fucking loud because the neighbors are going to want to hear it too. Cheers, guys.
So much, man.